Good morning. It's the 18th of August 2023 here from rural Ireland, and you're very welcome back. Now, I looked at the situation with the North-South Interconnector, a hugely controversial project to bring energy essentially from France into Ireland. France has abundant nuclear power. That's after taking a knock. They were buying yellow cake or raw uranium ore mainly from Niger in Africa for €11 per pound. Apparently it's weighed in pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. €11. The market price is €234. They were taking all the gold as well, of course. But there has been a coup there, and we'll see how that goes. But right now, there's a risk France is going to lose its cheap uranium. And that could impact the production of electricity and the need for the North-South Interconnector. Now, I have a few people around the country and talk to me, and I'm well involved with people, and they tell me that the word is that the pylons are not going ahead, that the North-South Interconnector is not going ahead. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but certainly in the last couple of months, the pressure seems to be off a bit. I don't hear any talk out of the system operator, Airgrid. System owner is the ESB. So what's happening? Some people who have built houses quite close to them, I know a lot of people have built them very close, don't seem to have a problem with them, and they say they're not going ahead. So that's all right. Now, one of the things I looked at is under the Planning and Development Act, which is the vehicle which brings on the pylon application, which is a strategic infrastructure development. It's a 2013 EU regulation. It's not a directive. A regulation becomes law immediately. A directive doesn't. It has to be transposed. But I have read that regulation and went to court on it and prosecuted the case for 2 days in the Irish High Court, and the judge ruled that Bord Pleanála had no substantial decision to make. And I was on to Bord Pleanála about the fact that this planning permission would need to be extended after 5 years. And they have to apply before it expires, not after. So the planning permission for the pylons was granted in December 2016, and so it would expire in December 2021. And there has been no application for an extension of 5 years. And Bord Pleanála say they only grant approval. So what they're effectively saying is that my case decision means that the regulation means it has to go ahead. Therefore, €43,000 in fees to Bord Pleanála could not result in a refusal. That is fully law. But you see, it's the same as the case with the Friends of the Irish Environment. The Irish government is claiming if they make it a budgetary matter, it's exempt all of the directives on planning. And now you see the same story being told by Bord Pleanála, that once it's a strategic infrastructure development under the regulation, it can't be refused. And I claim that is wrong, because the regulation states that the law has to be complied with. And the EU Commission is not at liberty to overrule the EU Court of Justice. The EU Court of Justice can knock it. So that permission, if it had to be brought, the one I took, if I had the facilities, it's not easy. It's about 18 days to bring in the start. It's at least 9 days for an appeal, and it's another 9 or 10 days gone out of your year going to the Supreme Court. And anyway, if you're not a lawyer, you cannot go on to present your case in the European Court of Justice. Moreover, when you have a crowd of barristers all around you and a judge is not sympathetic, even taking notes is quite difficult. It is not easy taking notes, and they said, we're not only are we not complying with the directive, with the SEA directive, we're going to build far more. And the judge more or less said, that's all right. Now, that's okay. I'm not giving out. That's it. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion and advise groups now to get your money together, take one good case, and go all the way to the European Court of Justice, and that is sinking the hearts of the Greens and the government at the moment. But the point about it is that could be challenged. I maintain the Planning and Development Act, which was the vehicle under which they applied for planning permission, is still relevant, and there has to be an application to extend the time after 5 years, and there was none. They say they can only approve it. Board Planola says they can only approve it. So there is a sitting duck of a case there that they wouldn't get away with that if I was running any group or had finances or anything else. Now, I am big involved in the windmill thing, and until somebody consults me, I'm not big involved in the pylon things. But it's interesting how there seems to be a cooling off. There seems to be a cooling off. I think, now I'm guessing here, and you get people writing underneath, and I appreciate them writing. I don't mind being criticised. You know, Val, you're getting it all wrong. You're not doing yourself any favour. I think that the case 2419 of the European Court of Justice, which says that the windmills built without the proper guidelines, proper SCA enacted guidelines, are unlawful, that any planning permission granted for it must be refused, and that any existing wind farms built since 2004 must be taken down. I'd say that has scared them, because there has to be a legal, some auditor has to sign on this. There has to be a legal problem with any company, state or not state, telling everyone there is no legal problem when the European Court of Justice has ruled in an energy programme that there is a legal problem. They're currently bringing up law to try and change that. We'll see how that goes. So that's my view on a short video. To guess what's happening with the pylons, I still think they're still planning to build them. I still do. The times are changing. They're printing money to beat the band. I'd say they reckon maybe in a year's time there could be a severe economic depression. It's looking that way in the United States. And they know that then it may be too late. And there'll be an election. The other thing is, if they were to start building those pylons now, the political fallout from the people up in Meath and Cavan and Monaghan could be severe. It could favour right-wing candidates. It could be they're just waiting to get the election over. And that's why anyone that has a still concern about the pylons should find out what Sinn Féin's policy is. Sinn Féin are going to try and fudge it. Their views should be noted. Their manifesto should be checked, because they could be the major party in government the next time. And we'd have to try and see what to do about it. I hope you find that a reasonable chat. It's not conclusive. The idea that any news medium or anything like that, like me, has to be right in everything and have everything researched. My position is to put it out there. I can tell you, I've been on to Board Planola, and that's the result I got. That is factual. People don't like it. That's too bad. Comment underneath, positive or negative, and we'll see you back for something else. We'll see you. Bye-bye.